What's up, you guys? It's Alexa back with another video. Assuming most of you guys have already seen the news about Ford recalling most of their cars, I'm going to kind of orient this video based on that. If you haven't heard about the news already, yes, Ford is pulling out most of their cars / sedans from their lineup, and they're going to be focusing mostly on the trucks and the SUVs and the crossovers going forward. So I was kind of surprised by that. They are keeping the Mustang, thank goodness, because that they really would have shot themselves in the foot there. But thankfully they're keeping the Mustang, and that's basically the only car they're keeping that's going to remain basically the way it is, because they're kind of keeping the Ford Focus in a way, but they're changing it to something called the Focus Active. It hasn't come out yet, but it's going to be a crossover type of vehicle. It's going to be mixed with kind of like a Chinese import. So there's a few pictures out there of it, and you know, it doesn't look too bad to me. Looks, you know, very crossover-ish. So but you know, the Ford Focus fans I know are pretty upset, especially the Focus RS. You know, it's a certain, they're appealing to a certain brand of consumer when they made the Focus RS and the Focus ST and stuff like that. So I'm sure they're going to be a little upset by this. I'm a little upset for them because I'd love to do a car review on a Focus RS. I will one day, but I definitely need to do it in manual. So I'll be getting to that. So yeah, Ford is pulling most of its cars from the United States, Canada, and Mexico. I guess they'll still be sold a little bit in a few other countries. So here's the list of the cars that they're going to be pulling the plug on somewhere within the next 2 years or so. Ford wants to, by 2020, Ford wants to be focused on trucks, crossover, SUVs, commercial vehicles, stuff like that. So at that point, that's going to be Ford's brand, I guess. More truck, more SUV. And I noticed Jeep is kind of an all SUV or all truck type of company. I mean, Jeep's doing fine, but Jeep is Jeep. So everybody, you know, everybody knows about Jeep. But for this, for Ford to do this, people are kind of surprised. So anyway, some of the cars that they're pulling, the Ford Fusion, that's, you know, more like a mid-size sedan. I was pretty surprised by that. I thought the Ford Fusion was doing really well. They're also going to be pulling the C-Max. I'd never heard of the C-Max, to be honest, so I did a little more research on it, and it's similar to a Prius. It's kind of a compact hybrid car, so I guess that's a Prius competitor in a way. They're also going to be, don't mind me, I'm looking at my notes here. So they're also going to be pulling the Ford Taurus, and it's a relatively large sedan, I would say. The Taurus, I think, has been kind of kept alive in the last few years through the sales from the police department and stuff like that. I feel like that's kind of what's been keeping their sales pretty high. And also they're getting rid of the Ford Fiesta. That's kind of a subcompact sedan that, you know, like I said, there's a certain group of people that are looking for a type of car like the Ford Fiesta. So they're not happy about that. And of course they're getting rid of, I'm just gonna say they're getting rid of the Ford Focus, because the Focus Active, to me, it seems completely different than the Focus that they have now. So I really feel like the only car they're keeping is the Mustang. So yeah, Ford is just like, you know what, these sedans are not making us money, we're losing sales. There's so many other competitors out there that are doing better in car and sedan sales. Honda, Toyota, Nissan even, you know. So Ford realizes that they make the most money from their pickups. I'm still surprised by the decision, but I can kind of see why they're doing it. It's like, as a company, you're going to want to go for what makes you the most money, what makes your company and what makes your brand the most money and attracts the most people. And Ford knows that its biggest selling point is its trucks and its SUVs. Their cars are not doing so well, but of course the Mustang is doing well, so that's why they're not pulling it. So like I said, they're just between that and they're trying to become more eco-friendly, more environmentally friendly, more electric, I would say. They're trying to steer in more of an electric field. So I think they said by 2022 they want to have like 16 different versions of electric vehicles to offer to their consumers. So, but like I said, I'm not surprised. This is a direction that pretty much all auto industries are going towards, is because we need to, buckle down and start saving this planet, because, greenhouse gases, and I'm not going to get into all of that, but the electric and hybrid powered car industry is starting to skyrocket. So Ford is trying to jump on board with that. And a lot of people are like, well, if Ford decides to pull all of its cars and sedans and stuff, and then they decide, oh, we're just going to focus on trucks and SUVs. Well, when gas prices start going up, all the people that have all these pickup trucks and stuff, they're going to be pissed, because they're like, well, dang, if I had a Ford car that I could have, I wouldn't be spending all this money in gas. But I don't know. I'd say it sounds like Ford's trying to incorporate electric in trucks too, not just cars. They're trying to make hybrid anything. So even the Mustang. So Ford's really trying to dive into several new coming fields, which as a business move, it makes sense, because they're trying to follow the trend and they're dropping what does not make them money. Do I think it's a smart move? I'm not sitting in Ford's business meeting rooms, so I can't say. I'm not looking at their stats and their numbers and how well they're doing here and how well they're doing there. But from what I can tell, it seems like a pretty smart move for them. But like I said, I don't know all the details and I can't predict the future. Ford might regret this later, but like I said, it depends on gas prices. It depends on who's buying what in the economy by the year 2020 or 2022. It really depends. So I can't say if this is a bad decision come a few years down the road. So you never know. But I see where Ford is going, and I'm curious to see how it turns out, how the people are going to kind of react. Are they going to start buying more cars now because of this pull? Or, are other auto industries going to start following suit? Like, I'm sitting in a Camaro right now, so I'm curious. Chevy, what you doing? You better not touch the Camaro, I know that. But, I'm curious, because it's like, Chevy, I don't know how Chevy's car sales are doing, So I'd be curious to find that out too. And does that mean, I know Volvo and BMW and Porsche, they're all starting to try to turn into that eco-friendly crossover type SUV trend. So like I said, it's a hot topic, and Ford has realized that, and they're like, you know what, we need to jump on board. But it was just so drastic the way they did it, and they're just like, we're pulling all of our cars, just every last one of them, except for the Mustang. Anything that's not making us money, we're getting rid of it. So I was like, okay, I mean, dang, I thought you could have maybe pulled a few slowly, one at a time, but no, they just yanking the carpet right from under us. So it's definitely surprising, and I think that's why everyone's like, oh, Ford's making a huge mistake, they're gonna regret this, blah blah blah. We really can't say, like, we don't know. And if they do, then they're gonna adjust and they're gonna adapt to the sales in the future. They're gonna adjust to the business and the economy in the future. So we really can't say for sure. But yeah, the Ford is getting rid of the Fusion, the C-Max, the Taurus, the Fiesta, and I'm gonna say the Focus. They're bringing back the Focus Active, but they're keeping the Mustang. So I'm like, okay, so what are the pros and what are the cons of this decision? So to me, the pros for Ford is they're saving money. If they're not making a lot of money based on their cars and their sedan output, then if they don't put money into production of those and they focus on their trucks, then they're saving money. So that's what Ford is doing. They're focusing on what makes them the most money. And the good news is vehicles are starting to get more fuel efficient, so you can't be that upset about that. It's like, don't we all want to save some gas? Granted, depending on what kind of car you drive, you have to expect you burn through gas. Just like me, I burned through a quarter tank in 2 days, at least. So, I wouldn't complain about having a more fuel efficient car. we're gonna get new models of trucks and SUVs coming soon. So I'm pretty excited about the Ford Bronco that they're bringing back. That's kind of a cool, tough looking SUV, so I'm pretty curious about that. They're gonna bring back the Ford Ranger, which is a pickup truck. There's another one that they're bringing back. Let me check my notes real quick. Don't judge me. I think they're gonna make model changes to the Ford Edge and the Ford Escape. I think they're gonna make them more crossover type instead of SUV like. So they're changing that up as well. So I'm like, it'd be pretty cool to see some new models of different trucks and SUVs. So, but yeah, I am excited about the Broncos. So that'd be pretty cool. Now the negatives about this whole decision, of course, is the fan base of Ford that like Ford sedans and cars and stuff like that. They're not happy about it. And I can see why. That means if they want a Ford car in the next few years, those prices are going to go up because they're about to stop production. So I'm just like, well, that's kind of not fair for them, because I feel like, you know, sedans are pretty good first vehicles to drive. Like, you know, if you're a teenager, you're starting to drive, it's like, might as well get a sedan. It'd be good to learn on. I would like, if I was driving, I would prefer not to learn on a pickup truck. But I mean, you work with what you have, and a lot of people say, well, wouldn't it be more advantageous to learn with a pickup so that way driving a car would be easy? That's true, but it really just depends on the driver that you're learning on. I just feel like sedans would be good first driver cars. The other negative is no more Focus RS for the sports car community and the car enthusiast community. You know, they're pretty upset about that. So, and I mean, I'm upset with them. Like I said, I think it's a pretty cool little hatchback, kick around, sporty little car. So now that they're getting rid of that, I don't know what would be good to replace it, or if another company is going to jump on that bandwagon to replace it. I really can't say. I don't know. A lot of people are going to have a bad taste in their mouth with Ford because of this, if they didn't have a bad taste in their mouth already, because I hear so much stuff about Ford. But then again, everybody talks crap about Chevy. Some people talk crap about Jeep, about Dodge. Any car company has some type of hate no matter what. But at the same time, like, Ford is just doing this, and a lot of people, it's not sitting well with a lot of people in the auto industry. So, you know, they're not really happy about it. And like I said, I'm very curious to see what some of these other car companies like Chevy and Dodge and Jeep and, you know, BMW or whoever, I'm curious to see how they're going to follow up with this change. I knew this was kind of coming. Everything's getting more eco-friendly, more fuel efficient, more electric. So of course I'm happy, but at the same time, because, you know, I'm very conscious about keeping our planet safe and healthy and going green and all of that. But at the same time, when they keep talking about electric cars, I'm just like, you know why I like gasoline cars, right? Yeah, I'm gonna miss that. If they get rid of, you know, gas powered engines, I'm really gonna miss that. So we'll have to see what's coming, but yeah, that's the direction Ford's going in. So I'm not too surprised. For Ford, I hope this is a good decision for them. You know, everybody wants to make more money. They want to make wise business choices, and you can't predict the future. But if you have an idea of where the future is going, then why not react to it? Why not adapt and change your market to fit what's coming? So that's kind of how I feel about it. And I guess we'll see how Ford is gonna fare in the next few years with this business decision. But they're gonna be making a few changes to the Mustang as well. So I don't know. It's like I'm not pissed at them, but at the same time I'm just like, oh, that sucks, you know. So we'll have to see. But of course, as always, you guys let me know your thoughts about, you know, this whole Ford shakeup, pulling the cars and everything like that. Let me know how you guys feel. I know most of you might be subscribed to my channel, might be Chevy enthusiasts, so you might not even care. But, you know, I still want your opinion. And If you're seeing my videos for the first time, please feel free to subscribe. I have a lot of different type of car content here on this channel. I just wanted to get my 2 cents into the whole Ford discussion going on the last couple weeks. So if you haven't checked out my other video talking about the 2019 Camaro refresh, please go check that out. You guys can get my 2 cents about that too, and you can see other people's 2 cents about it. So but yeah, these are my thoughts. Let me know you guys' thoughts as well. And I appreciate you so much for watching this video. You had plenty of other videos to watch, but you took the time to watch mine. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Today, I just reached 200 subscribers, so I'm really in a good mood right now. So I want to thank all of you guys that have been here for the 200 subscriber mark. And like I said, if you're new, please feel free to join the family. I would love to have you guys tune in and watch some more of my content. I have a lot of exciting stuff coming your way. I'm just getting started. So feel free to like this video if you enjoyed it and share it with a couple of your friends or family that might be interested in what's Ford doing. I don't know. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.